and the travel has taken a toll on us. And now we're able to periodically perform at a high level, but we're not clicking on all cylinders. So hopefully we can get some rest and be ready, because it doesn't get easier next Friday.
Gracie, what did you see in those middle events?
Personally, I felt we were kind of trying a little too hard to be perfect. I think we got comfortable after vault, and we kind of noticed that. We tried to pick it back up, but like I said, we were just trying too hard to be perfect instead of just letting our gymnastics speak for itself.
Is that maybe a symptom of being tired? Like it seems like it wouldn't be related, but does that affect you in ways?
It definitely does. You don't really realize it until you're in that moment, and it's something that we have to practice in practice, obviously, but it's a little easier in practice because you're not moving as fast, and like you kind of have that time to like rest and like prepare yourself. But in a meet, it's very fast paced and you're constantly moving. So I think we were physically and mentally tired in the middle there.
Aria, what did you think of your night individually, first of all?
I think individually, especially after bars, I really tried to step it up for my team, and I felt like I did a good job of that. And even with the energy being like the forced energy, I felt like, at least personally, like I could pick it up.
What have you guys kind of talked about after these so far?
Definitely being a family, and doing it for the team and not for yourself. Because even though I had a great night, like it's a team sport. It's not an individual sport.
Gracie, what is some of the things y'all talked about?
We definitely talk about the things that went well, and then the things we obviously need to work on. And one of the things tonight was definitely that we did look a little tired, and it was evident in our gymnastics. So that's kind of something we've talked about the past few meets. It's kind of been a common theme. But I think really just taking tomorrow to rest and just really prepare for next week is going to be really important for us.
You're resting tomorrow?
You said so, I mean,
Jeff said we have a day off. I'm going to lay in my bed all day.
Y'all heard it from me. Jeff said we have tomorrow off.
We must be tired because I gave
Hey, it must be really
Hey, he said it. I would not say anything. It did not come from him first.
Never. All the time.
No.
Gracie, you finally get that vault. You've been working hard on it all year. Just kind of how it go for that feeling when you finally stick that vault.
It was a really great feeling. It was kind of funny because last week I asked Brian like what I was doing wrong rather than just like listening to his corrections, but I felt that I needed to just ask instead of listening, and it was a very simple fix that even throughout the week I was like, oh, so this kind of does work. So if I had asked weeks before, like this would have been solved and I would have been progressing a lot faster. But it was just a really great feeling, and I'm just excited to see how it progresses throughout season.
Well, coming out of the locker room, right before we came out, I gave the guys the definition of the 80-20 rule, which 80% of the juice of an orange comes out with 20% of the effort, and the last 20% of the juice comes out with 80% of the effort. We were in the last 20%, and I challenged them to try to squeeze as much as they could out of tonight, because warm-ups were predictably tight and tired, and felt like the girls came out and did that on vault. It was obvious they had enough energy to perform at a high level on vault, and it was nice to see us carry over from what we did last Sunday. But then I think is when it really hit them. So I like the fight all the way through. I love the fight at the end. It shows they got heart to finish like that. But and there's some technical issues that we're still working on. But I'd rather have we have to make choices now on training about energy and technique, and we're going to have to make energy choices now.
I was going to ask, could you see on bars when you went over there, like, oh, they're running out of gas?
Yeah, I could tell in the 4-minute touch.
Yeah.
And I mean, you guys who have been around it enough, once you see the girl who has energy do it, and then you see her the next week, you can see she's working for a living up there. Look, I go back to California, 3 time zones. That's a tough one. And then for a gymnast, six hours on the bus back and forth to LSU, and we don't compete outside the top 10 until this weekend, and we get a gift for number 13. It's not a recipe for success. This is a quick turnaround. We go from Sunday to Friday. On the on the calendar, we knew this was going to be a tough first 6 meets, but I think they've performed well. We're scoring at a decent rate, but we're really leaving a lot on the table because of this stuff. So we got to rest up.
Talk about the environment, really good crowd, kind of bounce back from the third crowd.
Yeah, I love the crowd, and the students were energized, and honestly, I don't think we do those last 3 floor routines without this crowd. So I'm excited that they're showing up in the numbers they're showing up, and that they're rowdy and that they're loud. And we're going to need it next Friday. We're going to rest. And look, if we do our normal stuff, we are a 197.2, 197.3, or 14. And that's good enough to compete with anybody in the country. So our challenge is trying to get back to normal and do what we did when we started the season against Alabama. We just can't repeat what we've been doing recently, which is giving some little things away here and there.
Does getting the schedule back to normal help get back to normal a little bit this next week?
Well, yeah. I mean, we started the season with 6 practices in the first 20 days. That's not a recipe for success. And then we got jammed because we could do more practice, but we're tired at that point because we've taken 2 long trips. So, I think some of this is a little overtraining. We tried to get some practices in, and technically they were able to do some more stuff, but we're paying the price on fatigue. So, yeah, it'd be great to get into competing every Friday night because we haven't done that yet.